James never thought much about happiness. It wasn't something he pursued. It either happened or it didn't. Life was a routine of work, bills, and obligations. But one morning, an unexpected letter arrived, addressed to him in elegant handwriting. There was no sender, just his name and address. Inside, a single sentence was written. "Are you truly happy, or are you just comfortable?" The words echoed in his mind, unsettling, yet intriguing. Was he happy? Had he ever really thought about it? That simple question sent him on an unexpected journey, one that would change his life forever. James couldn't shake off the letter's question. He shared it with his best friend Sarah over coffee. "What does happiness even mean?" he asked. Sarah, a firm believer in self-discovery, suggested an experiment. Every day for the next month, do one thing that makes you genuinely happy. James hesitated but agreed. That night, he sat with an old book he once loved but never had time to read. As he turned the pages, a forgotten sense of joy returned. Maybe happiness wasn't about grand moments. Maybe it was hidden in the small things. The next morning, James took a different route to work. He noticed the sunrise, something he hadn't truly seen in years. He greeted the barista at his usual coffee shop instead of just nodding. "You seem different today," she remarked with a smile. It was such a simple thing, yet it brightened his morning. Perhaps happiness was also about being present, about noticing life, instead of just passing through it. James started keeping a small journal, jotting down moments of joy. Slowly, patterns emerged. His happiness was tied to mindfulness and connection. Routine had always given James a sense of stability, but now it felt like a cage. Inspired by his experiment, he tried something new, taking a dance class. He was terrible at it, but laughter bubbled up inside him. The class wasn't about skill, it was about freedom. That night, he realized something profound. Happiness often came when he stepped outside his comfort zone. Maybe that mysterious letter had been right. He had been merely comfortable, not truly happy. As James continued his journey, he noticed something troubling. Negativity had seeped into his life unnoticed. Complaints, frustrations, unnecessary worries. He decided to detox from negativity by limiting social media, avoiding gossip, and focusing on gratitude. At first it felt unnatural, but then he felt lighter, as if shedding invisible weights. Happiness, he learned, wasn't just about adding joy. It was also about removing what dragged him down. James began a gratitude challenge. Every night he listed 3 things he was grateful for. Some days it was easy. A sunny morning, a good conversation, a delicious meal. Other days it was harder, but he forced himself to find something. Over time he realized gratitude shifted his focus. Instead of dwelling on what was missing, he saw what he already had. Happiness wasn't about more. It was about appreciating the present. One question kept resurfacing. What gives my life meaning? He read about purpose and fulfillment, but no book had the answer. Instead, he reflected on his passions. As a child, he loved storytelling, but had abandoned it for practical career choices. One evening, he wrote a short story for the first time in years. The process filled him with a deep, satisfying joy. Happiness, he realized, was intertwined with purpose. James took a hard look at his relationships. Some friendships were uplifting, while others drained him. He started investing more in people who inspired him and distancing himself from negativity. He learned that happiness wasn't just personal. It was influenced by the company we keep. True connections brought fulfillment, while toxic ones drained his energy. Fear had kept James from trying new things, from taking risks. He decided to challenge himself. Every week he would do one thing that scared him. Public speaking, trying a new hobby, reaching out to someone he admired. Each time he felt nervous, but afterward he felt exhilarated. Fear, he realized, was often the only thing standing between him and happiness. One day James volunteered at a community center. He hadn't expected much, but seeing the joy he brought to others was transformative. Giving, whether time, kindness, or support, had an unexpected side effect. It made him happier. Happiness wasn't just about personal gain. It was also about contribution. James had always equated happiness with achievement, but the more he chased it, the more it eluded him. He began to let go of rigid expectations, embracing the journey instead of the destination. Happiness wasn't a final goal. It was woven into the process of living. Mindfulness became his next experiment. He started practicing meditation, taking deep breaths and immersing himself fully in conversations. The present moment, he realized, was the only place where happiness existed. Regret and anxiety lived in the past and future, but joy was now. Weeks passed, and James transformed. Happiness wasn't something he found, it was something he created. The letter had sparked a journey, but the answers had always been within him. As he held the journal filled with memories, he understood. Happiness was not a destination, but a choice, made every single day. And so, he wrote back to the mysterious sender, thanking them, not for giving him answers, but for asking the right question.